Hi students, today we start the class with the topic motion in a straight line, which is also called motion in one dimension. One dimension means along any one straight line. So here along x axis we can take, or y axis or z axis, whatever it may be. So we are discussing about motion in a straight line. Before that, discussing about motion, the states which represents the motion, the states rest and motion of a body. So what is rest and what is motion? So here rest state, when a body does not change its position with respect to time and surroundings, means at t is equal to 0 initially the body is at a certain position, and after 2 seconds, after 4 seconds or after 6 seconds, if the body lies in the same position, and if you are observing the body, means we are the surroundings. So with respect to surroundings or with respect to time, if the body does not change its position, then the body is said to be at rest. Means here position of the body does not change with respect to time and surroundings. So that is rest state. Motion state means if the position of the body changes with respect to time and surroundings, means if a body is placed here, after 1 second its position changed, after 2 seconds its position changed, and you are observing from some bench, or you are observing from a distance of 1 meter, after 1 second the distance became 2 meters, after 2 seconds its distance increases. That means the position of the body changes with respect to time and surroundings. So if position changes with respect to time and surroundings, then the body is said to be in motion state. So these are the two states, rest and motion. Now these two states of rest and motion are relative, but these two states, rest and motion, are not absolute, they are not fixed. That means these states are relative. These states are relative. What does it mean by relative? We could not say that a body is at rest or in motion with respect to that body. We can say that body is at rest or in motion with respect to surroundings. That means, for example, if we consider we are sitting in the classroom. So with respect to the person, with respect to the student sitting beside you, you are at rest. Okay. Similarly, if you are in a moving bus, driver is at rest with respect to the passengers. Even though bus is in motion, but with respect to the passengers, driver is at rest. He is in the same position with respect to the passenger. But for a person who is standing outside on the road, now he observes that since bus is in motion, driver is also in motion with respect to a person standing on the road. That means here the state of the driver is at rest with respect to the passengers, and he is in motion with respect to the person on the road. So these two states are not absolute. One can say person is at rest, another can say person is in motion. That means these are relative. Relative means their states can be explained, can be discussed with respect to another. So here the motion and rest are not at all absolute. So this relativity is very much important. Very few examples for relativity where you can observe. If you take this chalk piece, you say this chalk piece is lengthy, but if you keep a pen beside it, now this chalk piece is short and pen is lengthy. That means here this length, it is only relative. You could not say this is more length or less length. While comparing with any other body, then you can say its length is more or less. Similarly, position also. If you are sitting in your classroom and if a person or your teacher asks you in which bench you are sitting, then you can say, sir, I am in second bench. But sir say, no, it is wrong, you are sitting in fifth bench. How? That means here with respect to you, you are sitting in second bench means with respect to the first row, you are sitting in second bench while looking from first row. But while looking from last row, sir is correct, you are sitting in fifth bench. That means here your position is also relative. So here position, length, everything in our physics is relative. Similarly, rest and motion are also relative. Now, what is reference point? What is its use? In order to describe motion, definitely we need a point from which motion can be described. Means if I am standing here and I am looking into outside, there a car is moving, then I can say that car is moving with some speed. Where the car's motion is described, from which point car's motion is described? From my point. So now this point where I am standing can be said as reference point, or it is also called as origin in our coordinate system. While we discuss the motion with respect to a coordinate system, then the point from which the motion can be described is called reference point, and also it is origin. Now here coordinate system, what I told you earlier, coordinate system. So as you know very well, xy coordinate system 2-dimensional, xyz coordinate system 3-dimensional. xy coordinate system, where you see this coordinate system 2 dimension, there are 2 axes intersecting with each other. So best example is our road, means plane. It contains xy coordinate system or yz coordinate system or xz coordinate system, means it looks like this one. This is the coordinate system. So this is 2 dimension. In our room, if you are in your room, there you can observe 3-dimensional coordinate system. Means in your room you can see the walls with this wall. If this is the wall, it is x-axis, this is y-axis, and this one is z-axis. So this is x, y, z coordinate system. What is the need of this coordinate system? Actually, if you are in your room or in your balcony and looking into outside, some persons are moving or some cars are moving, then the motion of those objects can be described with respect to your balcony. Means your balcony is the coordinate system from which motion can be described. Or some from our Shar center, rockets are flying off and those rockets motion can be described from the laboratory. Then that laboratory from which the motion of the rockets are described, it is called a reference frame, that coordinate system. Coordinate system means it is not at all any particular room or particular place. Coordinate system is simply the place just where motion can be described. It may be your room, your balcony, laboratory or any car moving. So everything we can take as coordinate systems. So here the motion can be described with the help of coordinate systems. Initially we need reference point to deal straight line motion. Thereafter we will discuss coordinate systems as reference frames. First here only one dimensional motion is required, so our content restricted to reference point itself. So first of all we start with reference point. So now we discuss about distance and displacement. Let us take this one as origin from which motion can be described. This is the reference point. With respect to this point, we are discussing motion. Now, let us take a body whose position is initially 1 meter, means the body is lying at 1 meter. Now, this point we can take as A. Now, the body moves to some another position which is 4 meter. Now, the length of the path travelled from A to B, path length A to B is, it is at 1 meter. While looking from O, it is at 1 meter. Now after some time it moves to B, which is 4 meters. Now the path length is 3 meters. 3 meters. So the length of the path travelled is called, the length of the path travelled by a body is called distance. Here distance is the path length and it is not depending on direction which the body moves. That means if body moved from A and reaches to B, again it turns back and again it reaches to A. Now in this direction path length is 3 meter and again from B to A path length is 3 meter. So the total path length is 6 meter. That means here path length is A to B plus B to A. That means 3 plus 3, 6 meters. So if you take body moved from A to B again, but in this direction. Now this is ACB. So this path length may increase. Now this is the distance ACB, which is greater than AB, and here ACB is greater than AB. So distance means it is very simple one, in which path the body travelled. Just calculate the length of the path, taking a tape or a scale and just calculate the length of the path. The length of the path gives distance. It does not depend upon direction, whether the direction may increase, whether the direction may change, if the body turns left or right or U-turn, whatever it may be. If direction changes, but the path length gives distance. Now displacement, and here some more examples for distance. If it moves from A to B, from 1 to 4 it is 3. Now it comes to C, which is some 2 meter. Then A to B, 1 to 4, 3, again B to C, 2. So total it is 3 plus 2, how much? 5. That means here distance is equal to AB plus BC. AB is 3 and BC 4 to 2. How much length it is? 2. So this is 5 meter. So just you have to add the length. Now displacement. Here I am drawing the same content here. This is origin. Let us take this as x-axis. This one is -1. This one is -2. Let it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are the positions. There is no restriction that body has to start its motion from origin only. The body can start its motion from any point. Just origin is the reference point from where you are observing the motion. So let us take initial position is at A, x1. Now the body moves to B, which is x2. So x1 is 1, x2 is 6 meters. Now what is a displacement? It is very simple to discuss displacement. Displacement is nothing but that is the shortest path travelled by the body. Displacement means displacement is nothing but shortest path. Simply say the straight line joining the initial point and final point. So what is the initial point here? 1 meter. What is the final point here? 6 meter. Straight line is AB. Now displacement, we can say it as some S. Here it is simply x2 minus x1. Now this is 6 minus 1, 5. But my dear students, the important thing is that displacement depends on direction. Displacement changes with the direction. That means if the same body takes U-turn and moves to 3, now this is x3, 3 meter. So as in the case of distance, what we discussed, path length means 1 to 6, 5, again from 6 to 3, 3, 5 plus 3, 8, that is the distance. But whereas in the case of displacement, shortest path between initial position and final position. What is the shortest path? Straight line. So just draw straight line from 1 to 3. Now this is the final position, this is the initial position. Now the displacement is here, displacement is x3 minus x1 for A, B, and let this point as C. A, B, C, displacement is x3 minus x1, that means 3 minus 1, which is 2 meter. So what is the difference now you observed between distance and displacement? The difference is here for the distance, the entire path length is added. But for displacement, when the body started from a particular position, after travelling in any path, irrespective of the path, reaches to a point, then just draw the initial point and final point joining straight line. Draw a straight line joining initial and final point. Now take the positions, difference between the final position and initial position. That means we simply say displacement is xf minus xi, means final position minus initial position. Now you can get even negative terms in displacement because it depends on direction. How? If body starts from A, moves to B, and again reaches to A, means here I am writing as A, B, A. For this path, distance is A, B, again reaches A. Distance is 1 to 6, this is 5 meter, again 6 to 1, again 5 meter, distance is 10 meter, distance is 10 meter, but displacement, what we are saying for displacement, the only thing you have to look is just know the final position, initial position. What is the final position? Again it comes back to A, so that final position is 1 meter. What is initial position? Again it is 1 meter. So final minus initial position, 1 minus 1, that is 0. So displacement can be 0. But once body starts, distance can never be 0. Why? Because distance is the path length, only addition. Even the body comes back to the original position, but still path length is 10 meter. That means once the body starts, then distance goes on increasing. It never be decreasing. But whereas for the displacement, if body changes its direction, then the displacement depends on direction. Here one body moves to B and again moves to A, their initial position and final position are equal, so that displacement becomes 0. Fine. Displacement may be negative also. Here I am showing how the displacement will be negative. Now it starts from A, moves to B and comes back to A, and take this position as O, origin. So here displacement, if body moves from A to B, again B to A and to O. So what is final position? Final position is origin. In our coordinate system on x-axis, this is 0, origin, final position, and initial position, body started from 1. So initial position is 1 meter, then displacement is 0 xf minus xi, so it becomes minus 1. So when you are getting negative sign, when you are getting positive sign, when it is 0, means here displacement you have, it may be positive, it can be 0 and it can also be negative. Means displacement can be positive, 0 or negative. But a distance, we represent a distance with the letter D. Distance is always positive. When one's body starts its motion, distance goes on increasing. So here displacement positive, 0 or negative. Okay. When you got positive, when it becomes 0 and when it becomes negative. The simple thing what we are saying is that just remember, the only thing is, while you are calculating displacement, keep in mind that you need final position and initial position. Draw the straight line and take final position minus initial position. That's it. Now when it becomes positive, negative or 0. Look at here. When the body started from 1 meter and moves to 6 meter, so the position of the body is right side, means along positive x-axis. So while we are taking x-axis, this is the concept what we are discussing. But don't fix your mindsets only for x-axis. Maybe the body can move in y direction, the body can move in z direction. In any one direction, we can take the motion of the body. So here we are letting x direction, so that when the body moves along x direction, and this is the starting point, and the body is ahead of starting point. Remember, body is ahead of starting point. That means here it reaches to 6. Then 6 minus 1, 5. Here also displacement is positive, because again here the final position is ahead of starting point. Again it is ahead of starting point, so that again it is positive. But when the body reaches to its initial position, then displacement becomes 0. Now when the body is behind, even though this is the reference point from where the motion can be described. Here the body starts from this point. What is the difference between these 2 points? This is the point you are standing and observing the motion, and this is the point from where the body starts. So you are the person observing the motion of a body, and the body starts from this point. There is no restriction that body has to start its motion only from reference point. It can start its motion from any point, and its motion can be described from the reference point. So this is the reference point. Now the body moves from A and moved any path, along any path, and reaches to origin. Now the position of the body is behind the starting point. When the position of the body is behind the starting point, then it becomes negative. Means here final position is 0, initial position is 1. Now it is -1. If I ask, if body started from 1 and directly moves to this point to D, it not traveled through A, B and B, A and D, directly started from A and reached to D, then what is the displacement? Here what I am saying, yes, displacement from where to where? A to D. Now the displacement is final. What is the final position? -1. And what is the initial position? Final minus initial is +1. So final is -1 minus initial is +1. So -1 it is -2. So very simple to write the displacement concept. Just you know final position and initial position, then you can simply calculate displacement. The only thing is to draw straight line. Whereas for distance, whatever the length traversed by the body, just calculate the total length. Even if it turns back or it changes direction, you have to calculate the total length. For example, here this is the distance travelled by a body, which is 3 meter, and from this point it turned 90 degrees and it travelled through 4 meters. Now the distance can be calculated as 3 plus 4, 7 meter. Body started from this point and moves along 3 meter, and from here A to B 3 meter and B to C it is 4 meter. So the total distance is 7 meter. Now if you are asked to find out displacement, then what is the primary criteria we have to calculate displacement? Just draw a straight line between initial and final positions. So this is the initial position, this is the final position. Then this is, according to Pythagoras, this length is root of 3 squared plus 4 squared. That means it is 9 plus 16, 25 under root 5 meters. Now here this is root of 3 squared plus 4 squared, 5 meter. So distance is greater than displacement. That means when once the body changes its direction, here in this example or in this example, when once the body changes its direction, that means distance goes on increasing irrespective of the direction, but displacement depends on direction. Here when body moves to A to B and B to C, displacement becomes 2 meter, whereas distance becomes from A to B 5, 1 and 6, difference is 5 meters here, and again here this is 3, 5 plus 3, 8. So distance increases continuously, it becomes 8, but distance is decreased. Initially from A to B it is 5, when it comes to C, displacement is 2 only. That means displacement always less than distance, distance always greater than displacement. For only uniform motion in a straight line, only in a straight line, until unless the body changes its direction, then distance and displacement are equal. Until unless the body changes its direction, the displacement and the distance are equal. If once the body changes its direction, then distance continuously increases, but displacement decreases and less than distance. So, this is the concept you have to learn, and these are the differences between distance and displacement, right. Now, we discuss about speed and velocity, right. Now, speed and velocity. Speed. So, speed can be defined as distance travelled in 1 second. So, speed is equal to distance by time. It can also be defined as the distance travelled in 1 second. So, as we know, units for distance meters in SI system, and for time it is seconds. So, the units for speed is meter per second. That means, here the body travels some distance in some time interval taken, then we can calculate speed as, if this is origin and this is the point where body started its motion, and this is the point where body reaches after some time, then at t is equal to 0, this is the initial time, and after some 2 seconds body reaches to B. So, time interval taken is 2 seconds and the distance travelled is 5 meters. This is the distance travelled 5 meters and time taken is 2 seconds. Then here speed can be calculated as speed is equal to distance by time, 5 by 2, 2.5 meter per second. So, this is speed. Here while we are discussing about speed and velocity, we have to discuss about the uniform motion and non-uniform motion. So, here speed, which can be defined as distance travelled by a body in 1 second, or the ratio of distance and time. As we discussed here, distance is always positive since it is not depending on direction. So, speed is also always positive. So, that is speed. Now, velocity. Here we are discussing speed and velocity in a comparable vision, whereas we discuss a distance and displacement also in the same view. So, what is velocity? Velocity, it is defined as ratio between displacement to time. The displacement traversed by the body, the displacement made by the body in 1 second is called velocity. So, here displacement means it is final position minus initial position by time interval. Time interval is t2 minus t1. So, this is velocity. Okay. Now, here based on our x axis, if this is origin and this is 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 4, so 5, this is -1, -2, like that. Now, if body initially started from this position A and move to some position B, finally reaches C. To move from A to B, here it started, T1 is equal to 0. To move from A to B, it takes 2 seconds, and from B to C, it takes 2 seconds. So here this is final position 3 meter, initial position 1 meter. Total time interval, time never decreases, time goes on increasing. So here when body moves from A to B, time taken is 2 seconds, and from B to C, time taken is 2 seconds. So the total time interval is 4 seconds. Now this is 4th second. From C it is 4th second, which we can say as T2, and T1 is 0. Now velocity we can define as velocity is equal to displacement by time. What is the displacement here? Final position minus initial position. Already I told you that irrespective whatever be the path it traversed, just look into the final position and initial position, then take 3 minus 1, that is the final minus initial. Time interval 4 seconds minus 0, 2 by 4, this is 1 by 2 meter per second. But for the same path, for the same motion, if we want to write speed for the same motion, if we want to write speed, then here how to write speed? Time is same, 4 seconds. During the 4 seconds only, the body moved from A to B and reaches C. So time duration is 4 seconds. But distance travelled from A to B, this is 4, and B to C, this is 2. From A to B, 1 meter to 5 meter, that means travelled 4 meters. From B to C, 5 meters to 3 meters, means 2 meters travelled. So total distance travelled 6 meters. By time interval 4 seconds. Now this is 6 by 4, 3 by 2 meter per second. So speed and velocity differed. What is the difference? Here velocity depends on displacement, speed depends on distance. Distance is always positive, goes on increasing. Displacement, it can be positive, 0 or negative. So based on that, since velocity is depending on displacement, velocity can be positive, it can be 0, it can also be negative. So that is the difference between speed and velocity. Now based on this velocity, we will discuss motion into two types as uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Hope you understood speed and velocity very well. So first, uniform motion. So uniform motion, here we are taking x-axis, this is origin, origin minus 1 meter, minus 2 meter, similarly 1, 2, so if body starts motion from 1 meter and now it takes 1 second, here this is 0 second, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. Look at here, this is 1 second, 0 to 1 second. Next 1 to 2 seconds, again it is 1 second. 2 to 3 seconds, it is 1 second. 3 to 4 seconds it is 1 second. Now the distance travelled from 1 meter to 2 meter. This is 1 meter. Again 2 meters to 3 meters, 1 meter. 3 meter to 4 meter, 1 meter. 4 to 5, 1 meter. Now here the time taken for every 1 meter is 1 second. The time interval for every 1 meter is 1 second. Or we can also say this is 2 meters and here time is 0 seconds, this is 2 seconds. Here this 1 seconds what I am writing here, these 1 seconds are intervals from 0 to 1, 1 second interval, 1 to 2, 1 second interval, 2 to 3, 1 second interval, vice versa. So here from 1 to 3 this is 2 meters and time interval from 1 to 3 meters, time interval is 0 to 2, that means 2 seconds time interval for 2 meters. Now you can take for any 1 meter or 2 meters or 3 meters, time interval is, for any 1 meter time interval is 1 second. That means the body traversed equal displacements in equal intervals of time. So the body traversed equal displacements in equal intervals of time. Then here for this 1 meter time is 1 second. For this 2 meters time is 2 seconds. For this 3 meters time interval is 3 seconds. Means here velocity means displacement by time. The body travels equal velocities. The body travels with uniform velocity means constant velocity. Or we can also say that the body travels equal displacements in equal intervals of time. Equal displacements in equal intervals of time. Then the body is said to be in uniform motion. Uniform motion means it travels equal displacements in equal interval of time. And we can also say as here uniform motion means velocity remains constant. Velocity remains constant. That means here the velocity we can write as displacement by time. You can take any displacement. 3 minus 1 2 meters, time is 2 seconds. 2 minus 1 1 meter, time is 1 second. So likewise for any displacement time interval accordingly changes and finally velocity it will be 3 minus 1 2 minus 0 time interval or 2 minus 1 1 minus 0 time interval or 4 minus 2, so 4 meters 2 meters. Here time is 3 seconds, total time taken is 3 seconds and up to here time taken is 1 second. So time interval is 3 minus 1. So whatever it may be, 2 by 2, 1 by 1, here 2 by 2. That means 1 meter per every second. It travelled 1 meter for every second. That means velocity remains constant. It is called uniform motion. Now in uniform motion, where the body moves in a straight line, as we said that distance and displacements are equal. So in uniform motion, velocity and speed also equal. Speed and velocity equals in uniform motion.